Well, many viewers asked for more of Mark's photography tips on our Facebook page. So today he's going to show us some of his very favorite techniques and that you can create using magical effects while you're photographing water.
Yes,
Wow.
and this is all done in camera. You don't need any special software, any additional sort of. There's one little thing you're going to need. You could use, but I'll teach you the sort of the poor man's way around it. Ben's a photographer. We were just chatting about this. You love taking pictures. You go all over the world, right?
Wherever I travel, I take photos, and I never even look at them. It's just the joy of the moment. And then I do Instagram, the best ones, though.
I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, I follow you as well.
You guys, I know, look, Ava, you're taking pictures all the time, right?
Yeah, all
Matt,
the time.
you take pictures of yourself all the time.
Copious photos of me. But I'm always fascinated to learn more. What amazes me is cameras can be so intimidating, and that's why it's great when you can break it down and make it simple.
You know what's intimidating is why you guys are under a blanket right now.
Well, we wanted to be comfortable. We wanted to be cozy and comfortable.
Apparently, we're left out in the cold
I know
over
they
here.
just left us over here. Didn't even
All right, so let's jump into this real quick. This is a simple thing to do. We talked about shutter speed, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna have you be really, really brave when you pick up your camera the next time. You wanna go to that little M, which stands for manual. When you're working with a DSLR like this or a point and shoot, you can go into a manual mode. Can't do this on your iPhone, sorry.
No, it's hurtful, but it's cool.
Okay, you wanna take your aperture and you wanna make it the biggest number you can, simple. Sometimes it'll go up to a 32, but just take your aperture, and for those who know a little bit about photography, you know what I'm talking about. I could get into that, but it's going to kill the segment. We won't have much time for anything else. So aperture as high as you can go. Then we're going to take our shutter speed and we're going to slow it down. But I'll show you on the far end, when you increase your shutter speed, you can do things, fabulous things, like this is a picture of the hummingbird in the house. This is shot at 1/1250th of a second. So it's really quick and it stops time, okay? So this is a shot of my son Avery running through the sprinkler system. So it stops the water droplets. This was shot at a 1/1000th of a second. I'm showing you these because I'm going to show you what happens when we slow this whole process down, okay? So with that said, let's go back. This is a picture that I took and I went the other direction with it. I slowed the shutter speed down and now we have the beautiful streaming effects of a waterfall. Now, it gives you that real milky feeling. Now, this is not done through anything special with the software. I did trick some of this stuff out, but the original effect, you can see some of the leaves. I did a little bit of a sort of painterly effect on that, but other than that, that's the original picture.
Why not just, instead of adjusting shutter speed, why not just pour milk down your water fountain and you get that milky effect?
Because the people at the hotel you're staying at, you're gone. Trust me, I learned that one the hard way. Yeah, I did. Started with yogurt, it just stuck. And then I went to cottage cheese, and it looked lumpy.
Didn't work so well.
So what was the shutter speed on this one?
This, I'd have to look and see. Let me get in, because I have an example to show, but I'm going to go through a couple of these that I shot. Again, this was about 4 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
No, a little bit more than that, 1.5 seconds, I think. But this gives you that effect of the water coming in. This was in New York, a water fountain.
Beautiful.
So we're getting some ideas of what we can do by just playing around with our shutter speed. This is at night and just letting the fun. This is New York. This is at Lincoln, the Lincoln Center area.
I thought it was at the Bellagio.
And this is one of my favorites. You can do the same thing. The water doesn't really have to be moving much, but it gives us this real glassy effect, right?
Did you do something to amp up the color? The colors amaze me in the reflections.
No, there's lights inside those little huts. There's glass bottoms and light goes through. I did boost the saturation a little bit with it, but that is, the effect we're looking at is the glass nature of the water. And this was about a 30-second exposure. So remember, we went really fast, now we're going really slow. All right, this is done in Moscow. Same effect, same idea, which I'm going to teach you here quickly, is done with car lights and streets. Remember, it's the capturing of the still images and the moving images in one single frame, and that's why you get this effect. Yeah.
So if you're making it go really slow, you're slowing it down, does it have to be on a tripod to keep the camera steady?
You need a tripod. Yes. You need a tripod, and I'm going to show you one other thing.
So were you in the middle of the street here? What happened?
I was waiting to get. This is down at the Santa Monica Pier.
How did you get that?
That's a Ferris
wheel. That's a Ferris wheel?
So notice everything is still. If you looked really close, you would see movement in the water. Anything that is moving over a 30-second period of time is going to blur. But everything that is still, the structures and all that, so that was the Ferris wheel going around.
Like a
in circles.
I still
I
don't
was
know
trying to get it to be still. It took forever to get
Are you
the
trying
shot.
to hypnotize us? But I'm
We're trying.
hypnotized.
That's right.
He's so hypnotized, he's holding my hand.
know, right?
Look at it, we're sitting here.
All right, so here's what you need to do this, okay? The idea behind this is you want to slow down the light. What I mean by that is you essentially want to reduce the amount of light coming into your camera, so when the shutter opens and the sensor waiting back there is getting the light coming through to record an image, if it stays open for a long period of time, it can blow your image out and can be completely white. So what do you need? You put little sunglasses on your lens, right? You want to have that
Are
sort
you
of...
serious?
Well, you don't really use sunglasses.
No.
You want to get something that looks like
believe it,
sunglasses.
too.
You want to pick up...
Like, wait a minute.
You just failed idiot test.
I would put sunglasses on.
You want to get something
you
that's
missed
called a neutral density filter. They come in different degrees, ND1 up
So
to
you have to buy a
ND.
filter.
You can buy a filter. The poor man's workaround on this is just wait till it gets darker outside, right? Because your camera will stay over for a long period of time. All right, here's how this works. Really simple. This is a water feature in my backyard. I shot this at 2,500th of a second. So I wanted to sort of freeze the water. Look what happens when I shift this to 4 seconds. It jumps to that.
Oh, wow.
Right? Now I'm going to bump it up to 13 seconds. It gets softer.
It's
Notice,
like you're in
The water
Hawaii.
gets
but pay attention to the trees around. See how they're blurring? Remember, this is being an exposure for this one here is for 20 seconds, and this is for 30 and 35. But they'll blur because why? The wind is blowing.
So whatever in the picture is moving, it creates a blurry effect.
So I want to teach you to sort of look at a still image, but see the movement within that over a period of time, which is really interesting. The same if you have kids that are, with a flashlight. Put it on a tripod. It has to be on a tripod.
That is why whenever I go out to lunch in public, to make sure paparazzi gets a clear image, I do not move.
Oh, that's good.
I stay really still.
They need a really slow shutter for you too.
They do need a slow. Does it make sense?
It does. And it starts to. It almost looks like a beautiful oil painting. It's incredible the way it blurs
And
the
it's
lines
all
of reality.
it's all done in camera. You don't need to buy expensive
just shutter
software. You
speed
need a
and a filter.
tripod and let it sit and cook for and play with it.
And
Let it go for 20 seconds or 30 or whatnot.
That's
but
really
there you
cool,
go.
Mark.
Really simple.
Great